of the Abyss.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my guide to Abyssal Underlord, my jungling guide to Abyssal Underlord. This in patch 7.06c. This is my first guide for the C suffix for patch 7.06, which will probably be on for a very long time. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on 7.06c, please see the previous video on that. I spent about 35 minutes talking about the patch. But anyway, for this guide, at about 9 minutes, we're going to have Arcane Boots and a Soul Ring. You can actually do this guide slightly differently. You can have a Midas by 9 minutes. I've tried doing it both ways. Surprisingly, one is not much more efficient than the other. I would say doing it this way is slightly more difficult and also ends you with 2 points in your aura, 4 points in your nuke, and 1 point in your ultimate by level 7. If you try to go for a hand of Midas and therefore don't care about the nuke as much, if you're very efficient, you can max out your aura, get a couple of points in your Q, and that actually may be the more efficient way to go about doing things, because then you can also throw a couple of points, or at least a single point, into your W, which is one of the best skills this hero has. So I do a little bit of stacking with this hero. Mud Golems I really don't like using my Q on because it is magical damage, and Mud Golems do have solid resistance. There is a resistance aura given off by these little centaurs, but you do a lot of damage with your Q. Like, by the time it's level 3, level 4, it does a lot of damage, even if there is a magic resist aura on the creep camp. This isn't really the case with the Golems. Their magic resist is just always really, really good. But the Centaur magic resist aura and the small Ursa magic resist aura, which to my knowledge doesn't stack because it is the same exact aura effect, it's not that big of a concern. That being said, at level 1 and level 2, I will typically try to kill off the more magic resistant creeps before I will cast my spells. So, why this item build, and why not the Midas? Okay, so with a lot of the heroes that I make guides for, I'm like, alright, well, get a Midas because, well, what does a Midas give you? It gives you money, gives you experience, and just makes your time on the map more efficient in terms of levels and gold. And this is true for Abyssal Underlord as well, and he really likes items. So it's not a bad choice on him, but the Abyssal Underlord is also a hero that's quite good at fighting, and his aura makes him very good at fighting. His W makes him good at fighting. His Q makes him good at farming, and to some extent fighting as well, because it does 3.2, level 4 does 3.2% of the enemy's max hit points as damage. So, pretty cool, pretty decent fighting hero, but he's also big into positioning with his R, and it's kind of hard to use this as an analogy, but think about him in terms of, like, if you had a super farmed, God, I'm trying to think of a hero that is really a good comparison, like almost like a Darkseer, even though Darkseer is int in this guy's strength. Like, Underlord is a hero that does really, really well with a mech. Like, this is a tanky, fat strength hero that's pretty decent at pushing, because he does have that AoE, he does have a lot of AoE area control and AoE damage to kill the creeps. I did mess that stack up there. The range satyr does make things difficult. But he doesn't have a mana pool like a Darkseer does because he is a strength hero. His mana pool is actually, it feels better than it is, especially when you're jungling. Like, you get quite a few casts of your Q off. I think I only used my Soul Ring a few times during this entire run because my mana was pretty good, and I also had the bonus regen from just having the Soul Ring in my inventory. Another thing about getting the Soul Ring is it does give you HP regen, so while you have the Soul Ring in your inventory, you're regenning, I think, about 5.5, 5.6 HP per second versus your natural is about 2, so that's pretty good. But back to what I was saying, you get the Soul Ring. Like, the Soul Ring is kind of optional when you're like, well, I could just get Mana Boots instead. Well, you really want the extra mana to use your mech, because after I get these two items, my next item will be a mech. And I think with the Soul Ring, you can absolutely justify getting a mech. If you don't go mech, and you have Mana Boots, then you don't really need to get the Soul Ring, because the Mana Boots helps your mana issues a lot and helps your team's mana a lot. So, just sort of my thoughts on that. That's the reason I build the hero the way that I do build the hero. But again, I do like big AoE effects with the hero. Almost get picked off here, but again, I do have all that nice regen from the Soul Ring. I get down to about 10 health, throw down that AoE, and then don't really care because I can kite them back. So it is a pretty straightforward guide. Again, I did the build slightly differently and focused way more on choke point jungling in a different run of this. Forgive that missed stack, wouldn't have helped me too much. But I did do this doing the build slightly differently and rushing to a Midas, and I got the Midas at within 10 seconds. My Midas timing was the same as a Soul Ring and Arcane Boots timing. So really whatever you want to do, as greedy as you want to be, just remember the more points you have in that aura, it's kind of the opposite of a value point. It gets better and better and better and better and better the more points you put into it in terms of damage reduction. So thank you guys for watching, and have fun jungling Abyssal Underlord. Hope you guys enjoy the new patch. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and thank you for watching that video. If you liked that content, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button. There's actually a little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and if you hit that button, then whenever you have YouTube open and I go online or post a video or really do anything, you'll get a little update from me. If you want to support the channel further, there are Amazon affiliate links in the video description below for pretty much every single piece of hardware in my computer. Additionally, there's also an Amazon referral link for Amazon Prime, so whenever you use that to get an Amazon Prime membership, you support the channel at no additional cost to you. So thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful day.